Welcome back to the Paint and Peach. This is Farmhouse Christmas. Today I am in 12 Days of Christmas, Day 8, hosted by Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Krista from Krista's Crafty Life. For DIY number 1, I'm going to use this Dollar Tree tile. These were pretty popular. My Dollar Tree got them a little later than everybody else's. I also have this house that I got from Bell's Outlet that was on clearance, and I got a couple of them, and we're just going to get started by cutting this tile the shape of this house. Now when you cut these tiles, they are no longer sticky, so you do have to glue them on. So I just took a piece of paper and traced it onto the house and then cut that out. I'm just using that to trace a pattern onto my tile, and then I will cut the tile. Here's where you can see that back piece comes off. That's the sticky part. So we're just going to glue it onto our house. Here I'm just making sure it actually fits correctly, and that way it will look like it's a part of the house and not just something glued on there. Now I'm going to take some Waverly plaster paint, and we are going to paint over this whole tile with that. Once we get that one painted, it's time to cut out a smaller one. So we cut out this small shape that I used a piece of paper to trace that one as well. Then we just repeat that same process and go over the small one with the white or plaster Waverly paint. Once we do that, we're going to make sure they're both nice and dry. Be really careful adding heat to these. They will melt. So I just make sure that I keep that heat moving and not holding it in one place. Now I'm getting out my Waverly wax, and I'm offloading onto a paper towel, and I'm just dry brushing over the whole thing to give it more of a rustic farmhousey kind of look. I'm taking a paper towel and rubbing it off a little bit and just going over it slightly more. And then I'm going to do the same process with the larger one. Once I get both of those done, I bring back my house and I go to glue on my piece, and then I decide I need to go ahead and sand this part so that we can paint it. I start out by painting that with Waverly plaster as well. I do go in later and we change that, but for now I'm just doing a really nice even coat and drying that up so that it will be a different color than our actual piece we're putting on there. Here I am going over it with the Waverly wax, and I'm doing it a little heavier than what I did on the other pieces. I do wipe it back. I do end up adding more to this once I get it all together. Now I'm just taking my piece and adding some glue and putting that onto my house. I'm going around the edges and filling in to make sure it's nice and secure, because this is a raised surface, so you might not get very good adhesion. Almost said adhesion again. To the back piece. Now I have a piece of cardboard that I cut into the shape of this little piece, and we are going to add the little small tile to the top and the piece of cardboard to the back of that to keep it nice and sturdy. If I was to just add the little piece, it would be too flimsy. Now I'm going over with a little bit more of that Waverly wax to darken up that roof and wiping it back just a little bit. And I like that much better. Now I've got these wood pieces that I'm going to add to the top to make my roof for the top piece. And I'm just going to glue those on. I'm sorry that's out of frame. Can only fit so much in there. But now you can see it, and I'm just going to make that match the the roof that's on the bottom of this house. And this is no longer a house. We have turned this into a farmhouse rustic church for Christmas to display on your mantle or wherever you would like. So I'm now adding a cross that I created with some sticks that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree and some twine. I just wrapped it around and glued it, and I think it's turning out super cute with this cross on there. I did have a little bit of trouble adding that onto the top, but I think I got it good and secure after a while. Now I just have some little pieces I cut from different things. This was a ruler that I'm making the doors out of, and then those windows were created from the jumbo popsicle sticks, or they might be the extra large, not sure, but I just cut the tips off of them to create windows, and now I'm just tracing them onto some music paper and cutting them out. We're going to glue the music paper to the popsicle stick ends, and those are going to be our windows. I really love how this adds a little bit of that church feel to it with the music, and I just think this is so farmhouse, and I just love how this church is turning out. I'm adding a little bit of water to those doors because they got a little too dark for me, so I was trying to wipe off some of that stain. We're just gluing those on there, and we're going to continue on with the windows. And we're just going to glue those windows and one on the door as well. And I have this little wreath I'm going to add to it, and here is the finished farmhouse styled church. I did paint the bottom as well. All right, we're going to move on to our second DIY for this Farmhouse Christmas playlist. This is a door hanger, like a cow tag, and then I'm using a essential stencil chicken wire, and then I have one of my printables that I'm going to add on here as well, and this is going to be super cute. I also have a ornament that I think I got from either the Dollar General or Dollar Tree, I can't remember, and we're going to add that on there too. We're starting out by painting this all with Waverly Snow White, and we're just going to cover the whole cow tag. Now we're going to get out our stencil, and we are going to stencil on some chicken wire onto this tag. I'm taking my printable to see exactly where I want to add my chicken wire, and I'm just marking it with a pencil, and then I'm going up to that point with the chicken wire pattern. I'm using some Waverly Gray paint. I cannot remember the name of this, but it's a little bit of a darker gray, and I'm going to do the stencil with that. When I stencil with these essential stencils, I do a swirling motion, and I make sure that I dab off a lot or offload a lot of the paint before I go in with the stenciling. I really love essential stencils, and I love any stencil, but I think these are really well made, and I love using them. So now we're going to keep on going with this chicken wire. I don't know why I chose chicken wire with goats, but I guess, I don't know. I just thought it went well. And I thought this was really farmhousey, so that's how we went. And I'm just going and adding that chicken wire all around where my picture is going to be and giving it a good dry. Now I'm taking a paintbrush with a little bit of water and going around my rice paper and just getting that printable off of the white part off of there. And we are going to Mod Podge that straight onto our door tag. While we're doing this, I want to remind you that this is a playlist, and you can find the link to the hosts and all of the playlists for the 12 Days of Christmas in my description. And make sure you check out Brenda and Krista's page. They're amazing, and I know you will love them. All right, we're adding on this printable. I'm using some Mod Podge to go around it, make sure it's nice and stuck. And then I'm just sanding off the bottom of that, and that way it is not hanging off of there. There's that little ornament that I have, and then I have some cute little greenery with berries on it that we're going to add on there. First, I want to get this jute string or jute twine, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to wrap that around the top part of this door tag. All right, now we're just going to add on the other elements, which is this Merry Christmas ornament tag, And I'm adding a little twine bow to it just to dress it up a bit. And then I have this greenery with the berries we're going to add up here. I really think it gives it a nice colorful touch, and it's still farmhouse, and I think I really love how this one turns out. So I just cut all those apart so I can place them how I want to, and that way they're not just one big lump of stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want it, and then I'm going to add it on with some hot glue. Now, if you live in the South like me, this wouldn't be able to be out on your door in the summertime. It would probably melt right off. So just remember that if you live in a hot area. Just to add some glue that is not hot glue, something that's going to hold up. I'm just adding that finishing touch to it, gluing that down where I want it. And then we're just going to take some of the Waverly wax and go around the edges to distress that up a bit and kind of frame it out. And here it is, all finished up. I added a red ribbon to hang it from, and I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Don't forget to check out my description for the playlist link and go visit the hosts page as well. If you like this video, please think of giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, and hitting that bell so you never miss a thing. And as always, stay peachy. See you next time.